This is your preview of Cardiff City versus Wigan as Cardiff take another long trip up north. 3 o'clock kickoff for once, Saturday the 27th of September, and I think it'll be a good barometer for how Brian Barry Murphy's team react to their first league loss of the season, I should say. Obviously they had an impressive victory on Tuesday versus Premier League Burnley, but with Burnley making 10 changes, there's obviously context to that. But Cardiff were excellent. Cardiff were very, very good. It was a very dominant display by pretty much the first team as well. But let's get into it. Cardiff City's unbeaten league run went pop last weekend. Two disjointed displays versus Stockport, where they got away with it. Yusuf Salic last minute equaliser, but then at home to Bradford, they just didn't really turn up. Callum Robinson did get on the score sheet, but Cardiff was second best in probably almost every metric. And that said, they made a good response Tuesday night against Premier League Burnley, as I mentioned, with a 2-1 victory in the Carabao Cup, taking them into an interesting tie versus Wrexham in the next round. But we'll come back to that in a few weeks. Why the Burnley performance mattered? Well, I think most importantly, I think the manager wanted to get the players back on the pitch as soon as possible. Joel Colwell came back in. He made a massive difference. I think they hugely miss Joel Colwell's dual winning, his legs. And I understand why the manager plumps for the more experienced David Turnbull at times, particularly away from home. But I thought maybe it was a mistake last week against Bradford to not have Joel Colwell in there. He gives them something different. He gives them that extra bit of aggression, the legs, the energy, and he's a dual winning monster, as I say. But you know, it was a Premier League Tuesday. They did well. They got the result, and they deserved it as well, in fairness. But now they've got to take that performance level into Wigan. And I think the thing for Tuesday was, it wasn't really about the result. It was about the performance. It was about the reaction. And I think that's why the manager went quite strong. In terms of the league table, Cardiff sit 4th on 17 points after 8 games, whereas Wigan are mid-table 12th on 12 points. And they'll be looking to reset. They've had a bit of a rough week. And with Wigan, it's been a up and down season. Very, very up and down. Ryan Lowe in the dugout, a highly rated young manager. He'll demand the reaction. The recent results have not been great. A 4-1 loss in the league to Bolton. They followed that up with a 2-0 loss to Wycombe in the Cup. And before that, they had a 3-0 victory over Doncaster and a 2-2 draw at Lincoln. So as you can see, inconsistency has been the theme at Wigan Athletic. But they'll be looking to start the game fast. They'll be looking to get at Cardiff, particularly at home, and go at it there. Injury news, Ronan Kipakio is definitely ruled out. A problem with his heel. I expect Dylan Lawler to be back in training. The manager hinted that he'll be in contention, but I've heard that he's back in there for a good chance. Anyway, he's certainly in the squad. Hopefully he'll be starting, because I think he makes a massive difference, as I'll be discussing on my channel this week, to how Cardiff City play. Callum Robinson 3-3 is banging on the door for a start, as is Isaac Davis, who's in form, Perry Ng, and Callum Chambers. Callum Chambers made probably his best performance at centre-back for Cardiff City in midweek. So that's where it matters. And, Cardiff will be looking for big performances from those guys, from Ronan Kipakio. Ruben Colwell, of course, has been a mainstay of Cardiff's good performances this year. In my opinion, it's going to be something along the lines of this. We're going to look to start fast and get at Cardiff. Cardiff will look to play with a speed of play through the middle, and Wigan's worst spells have come when the opponents have moved the ball quickly, which is just what Cardiff City do. And Wigan struggle under high press, the same what Cardiff do, and the punch diagonals to switch play. Again, all of those things are what Cardiff love to do. Second balls around the box, right up Cardiff's wheelhouse in many ways. The transitions, all these things that teams have exploited Wigan for before, I'd expect Cardiff to try to exploit them in the same way. However, as is tradition over the many years of following Cardiff City, what looks like on paper ahead of the game and what happens in the game does not always match up. For me, I think I'm going to go 2-1 Cardiff City. I do expect a reaction, and I do expect Cardiff City to have too much, but I think Wigan will dig in, particularly with it being at home, and they will try to make it as difficult as possible for Cardiff City. But I think Cardiff will have too much, particularly if they bring in informed Joel Colwell, Isaac Davis, Callum Robinson into the starting lineup. Keane Ashford looks sharp again on Tuesday as well. So I think it'll be difficult for Wigan, if I'm being honest. But you never know. League One, Championship, anyone can beat anyone on any given day. Anyway, that's my predictions. Let me know what you think in the comments. And of course, for all your Welsh sports news, check out DragonSports. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And I'll see you after the game.